Hallelujah. Hallelujah. All my new style and wonderful and fantastic fun family winners. This your winner, 50 Sergio Davis up. That's right. This is the Winna'S podcast produced by Starman Films and Management Group. Sean Starks. I want to say shout out to United Music Mafia for all their support. Today is a very interesting topic to me. Oh, by the way, I did get permission from my beautiful, lovely legacy daughter to do this episode. Okay. I don't do nothing without her permission. Y'all know how it is. We're gonna be talking about how in the beginning, when hip hop first came on the scene, it was very constructive. You know, it talked about how to get out of the hood or whatever situation you was in a positive manner. It wasn't talking about chilling and it wasn't violent at all. Here and there you had a few that went against the grain, but back then it was going against the grain. Right now it's the norm. So this topic of discussion is about constructive hip hop versus what we're hearing now, destructive rap. How did we get this far, and what can we do about it? So I took my time in inviting these special guests, and I was very bemored to work with Cardrillia Super Spitz Brunson in 2014. That's my brother over here, right there. Yeah, smiling from ear to ear. And what attracted me to him was his very positive lyrics. And his stuff still went hard. We got an example. We got a video we're going to show you, an example of one of them. And I worked with him ever since I moved down to North Carolina, Raleigh, in 2010. I believe I'll make sure 2014, 15, something like that. He's been kicking it ever since, So, and he's a very positive dude. Our other guest is Miss Marie Walden, aka Boss Mom, and she fits that bill for real. All right, and she's an A&R for United Music Mafia, and she has remored us with a whole lot of things and situations and stuff, and we really appreciate her. But she's gonna let us know. I'm gonna give them a chance to let everybody know what exactly they do, what they're doing now, what they have done, and how you can get in contact with them. But right now, we get ready to get to the meat. Because I'm a carnivore, y'all know that. You know what I mean? We get ready to get to it. For real. So I got a list of questions I want to ask. And I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes each, because we're on a time schedule. And I do want to leave time for y'all to talk, about y'all stuff too. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Keep your answers brief. Okay. First question. Did you grow up with the birth of hip hop, the transformation of hip hop into rap, or into this full blown rap?
That would be the transformation into the rap. At the time, it was a lot of, party songs with the Little John eras, stuff like that. So it was a lot of very creative. I thought being a rapper back then, you had to be as creative as possible. You could make a song about the sky, objects and stuff like that. Now it's more full blown rap, right? Like straight up, just bam,
Hey.
And it's all about our genres that we grew up in, though. I feel like, just me personally, that we always gonna feel biased in the genre that we just grew up in and loved and stuff like that. But that's kind of when I kind of got into the rap and really love. And we have a lot of different rappers that you can choose from East Coast, West Coast, Dirty South, you know, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, like just everywhere, you know. And not saying it's not like that now, but it's just like more of like, I kind of feel like it's more regional, you know. And it's good times though. I mean, rap is, to me, people are expressing how they feel, and really the product, you are the product of your environment. So I just feel like when I came into it, I didn't have much money, you know. So when I had to record a song, I basically did a radio version, you know. And I used to have to sell my CDs in the car, like to different people. I used to sell my CDs in the street, so I knew that some people didn't like a lot of cursing or whatever. I wanted everybody's money, so I just started rapping to feed, you know. And it just so happened it didn't have much cursing in it or any violence, because I was out there by myself really most of the time, and my stuff was all about guns and stuff. Guess what? You know, so I kind of just, my music kind of just, and plus I've seen fans of all ages, from the kids to the adults to the elderly people playing my music. So to me, I feel like it was an involvement. So I didn't really start off like that, but I kind of evolved into it, and that's how that became.
Yeah, and you know what? I can vouch for that too, because I've listened and I've been involved in a lot of your music, your videos and stuff like Sushi or Poppin' Ice Cream. You know what I'm saying? It really hit hard, dope ass songs without all the vulgarity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, Miss Walden, do you remember the question, or do you need me to say it again? Ask it again.
No, I remember it. Yes,
Okay.
I was birthed in the era that in the 70s. I was born in the early 70s, and
Don't look like it.
the hip hop game started taking off, and whenever I was about 5, in 79 is when it really hit the mat. It started hitting. That's when the first 2 releases were made, and from there, I was able to live out the evolvement of it throughout, all the way to current.
Mm-hmm. And so,
And
go ahead.
I was just saying the change, the transformation and change and evolution of it, was pretty amazing in itself. But at the same time, I seen, where it started taking a turn,
Right.
and becoming negatively impactful.
Okay. So you said you came in at the beginning. Spit said he came in at the transformation of hip hop into rap. I tried my damnness to get a representative for this latter day rap, but nobody had the gall or the nerve or audacity to accept it. I guess they just got balls on the videos. You know what I'm saying?
It will one day. It will one day.
So I mean, anyway,
Yeah.
I appreciate those answers and respect those. Question number 2. You almost practically answered that. Which of these 3 eras? No, I'm not going to answer that because you already answered that. I was going to say, which of these 3 eras do you prefer and why? And I think, if I'm not assuming, that you prefer the birth or the transformation.
I'm more the transformation, but
Wow.
only because if I explain it, more of the transformation for me was at an age that I was able to start really enjoying it. So I started liking and enjoying the more upbeat and, I guess today we would say it was club vibes. You could go to the club and really vibe to it. It was concert type of music, event type of music. And it could keep the energy bouncing,
Yeah.
Even though I love the era of hip hop, all the, the ones that paved the way, all the pave makers, it still was just more or less it gave you the more on my block, in my hood, in my streets kind of vibe. It was them telling their story in their, in their areas and in their life, but it transformed. I like the transformation of that when it actually was able to go club to club, city to city, and it really had some other vibes behind it, not following the negative vibes, but more of the positive vibes.
I can agree that for me, I would say I like both of them kind of equally. Spitz, you said you like the transformation the
I mean,
best.
I love all hip hop.
Right.
Beginning to know where you're going, you got to know where you've been. So the first thing I did as an artist was basically like I had to basically study. I want to know what my peoples are when I see them, and acknowledge them and rap their stuff and just be like, hey, you did great, you know. Now with hip hop, you make a lot more money, but I don't think the money adds up to the value of what the pioneers did. They started the whole thing, you know. So to me, they deserve all that, but they made it to where it is now. So that's how I feel about it. I hope that wasn't a question coming up. That's how
No,
I feel
no,
about it.
no, it wasn't. But you know what? I can admit that there is some rap out here now that I really, really like, especially I like Lotto, Big Energy. And I'm not saying that all of it is stupid dumb. It's some, but it's very few. It's just like the ones that get highlighted and played the most are the ones that I'm not gonna say causing the death, but you can't shoot a gun without a trigger. And to some of these misguided youth, it's a trigger to them. You know what I'm saying? So,
Very
question
much
number
so.
two: What this is for you, Spitz. What was your most constructive hip hop song that you enjoyed the most?
What and like hip hop, like not moving
The
somebody else.
the most enlightening hip hop song that you enjoyed the most. Positive song.
Uh, can we say man, so many. Nah, I know I can. That was good. He had the kids out there. You know what I mean?
Right.
I was like, okay, and he was talking about a whole bunch of stuff that was a little bit beyond me at the time. And when I did my research later on, I'm like, wow. So I do love music that even years from now, you can research things and you can still more appreciate the lyrics for what it was back then.
What about you, Miss Wilder?
This was one of the questions I couldn't, really focus my mind around any one artist, any one track, because there's so many over time and there's such a broad spectrum. So, I just highlighted a few like Mary J, Just Fine and Survivor, Michael Jackson, They Don't Care About Us, Black or White, Man in the Mirror, We Are the World, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Queen Latifah with Unity. Like those were the inspiring constructive tracks that in the era of hip hop and going into rap that I diverted to. Those are just a few, I mean, out of a lot, but to narrow it down, that's I kind of.
That's okay. That's who you chose. Okay, now what about, in your opinion, the most? What do you think is the most? I know it's quite a few out there. Well, which one do you think was the most derogative, destructive rap song that you've heard?
It was many. It was, I mean, at the time, to me, I loved it. So I don't know, but looking back on it, I mean, I can see what you're saying. I don't know. Like, you talking about sexual, you talking about, you know, I don't know.
Just give me one. This is a shotgun question, okay? Just give me one that covered all of that: sex, guns, drugs, all of that. Just one.
I remember, listening to Biggie's album, and he had an interlude on it. You know what I mean? And I was like, whoa, that was kind of good. And then Little Kim Hardcore, came, and I was like, okay, we transforming into a whole different thing now, But You gotta respect the bars, you gotta respect the lyrics and beats. I mean, I don't know. That's my take. I love to hear what's Boss Lady, Boss Marvel. What's your opinion? What you got?
What you got, Marie?
Yeah, this is this was another hard one for me because like I said, generationally over the years, it just God, everything from the Ghetto Boys to Mind of the Lunatic to Dead Body Disposal from Nectro to Brother Lynch with Meat Cleaver to that bizarre dude that did the I Love Babies that was a whole full-blown predatorial track about old men being attracted and sexually derived with babies. The torture, there's just been so many. Like, and then if you get into the era of talking gun violence and street violence and stuff, you always had the NWA, the Public Enemy, the Eric B, Rakim, but they did other music, but they still talked about the violence. They still talked about it in an era, and a lot of people don't know that, there was some things cracked on, the hip hop is what led to that whole, I don't even want to get into it until it comes time for that. But there's a lot behind the whole hip hop industry and culture. They used it for a lot.
All right. Now the ones you mentioned, a lot of people haven't heard of, but I did recognize two of them, and I kind of sort of agree. But I'm gonna tell you, I think the game changer for me was NWA. When they won that lawsuit, that they could say what the hell they want to say, just with the explicit rights up there. I think that's when the game that was the game changer right there. That just for me. All right, let's go to the next one. All right. Next question. You know what? That's like that's what we're gonna do right now. We're gonna show an example of a video, and the video is a super spits. It's called Poppin', and it's a good, clean video, and it hit hard. And what I like about it is he used the local talent, and from the director to the producer to the actors and to the choreographing, even had some mimers in it, and he kept it, and it was good, neat, clean, and it was a banger. Let's watch it right quick.
Six years ago.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Spit says he only needs women now. We got enough men inside right now. So, ladies, y'all come on inside. Come on. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy yourselves, ladies. All right, hold on, sir. That's it. That's all we need for today.
What you mean? We can't get in? We can't get in the party?
That's all we need.
First of all, who named themselves Spits in the first place?
Do I need
Come on, Spits.
to take you off
Who
the
named
premises?
themselves Spits?
Hold on. Check yourself.
First of all, black people don't even eat sushi. Okay, we eat chicken. Bojangles chicken and that.
I tell you what,
take you off the
I don't care. I don't care. Someone say you broke. I'm broke. Look, man, I'm getting in this.
Hold up, baby, I'm gonna go in because I got to see the show. Okay, he's fine.
Yeah. Come on, guys. Come on.
Wait. I'm gonna take it. I'm going. I'm gonna get in.
919 in this B.I. Yeah, G La Familia. When it comes to my city, I be poppin'. Radio 97, I be poppin'. They say you ain't got haters, you ain't poppin'. Man, I got so many haters, dog. I can start at college. Hell yeah, I be poppin'. In the streets, I be poppin'. Over there, over here, man, I swear I be poppin'. They said you ain't got haters, you ain't poppin'. Man, I got so many haters, dog. I can start at college. I be poppin'. Boy, look out for the ones that ain't with us. And the damn thing changed, still riding for my winners. They should call me Dennis in this game. I'm a menace, got gold like leprechauns. When it comes to rap, I'm a dom. More shots than a free throw. 3-pointer, poppin', twerk show. Sophisticated, the most anticipated, underrated, highly favorite. 1 round for my haters. Poppin', 2 rounds for the come up. Hoes never love you till you blow up. Thank God my connect never showed up. Could've been the fans dance fans when I pull up. When it comes to my city, I be poppin'. Radio 97, I be poppin'. They say you ain't got haters, you ain't poppin'. Man, I got so many haters, dog. I can start at college. Hell yeah, I be poppin'. In the streets, I be poppin'. Over there, over here, man, I swear I be poppin'.
Let me tell you something. The only way you getting in here is if you start pop locking right now.
I be poppin'. Carolina blue, hottest winners on the block. Kareem doing good, get it me, I make it pop. Might cost you money, but you'll sell like rocks. Cracks on the ground, earthquakes when I drop. Fly high, higher than you ever been. Took time, money stretching like rubber bands. God bless all the rap niggas. Why you at it since you blessing all the trap niggas? Bow down, you in the presence of royalty. Half of y'all raps be boring me. Big money, floor seats. Shows packed with model chicks, super thick, just to see super spits, yeah.
Hold on.
All right, I'll do it. Just let me inside.
No, you got to pop lock right here.
See this? Gotta see this.
Damn, that's good enough. Let that man in.
I'm poppin' when it comes to my city, I be poppin'. Radio 97, I be poppin'. They say you ain't got haters, you ain't poppin'. Man, I got so many haters, dog. I can start at college. Hell yeah, I be poppin'. In the streets, I be poppin'. Over there, over here, man, I swear I be poppin'. They said you ain't got haters, you ain't poppin'. Man, I got so many haters, dog. I can start at college. I be poppin'. I be poppin'. I be poppin'. Poppin', man, I poppin'. Over where they poppin', man, I poppin'. They say you ain't got haters, then your ass ain't poppin'. I can start at college. Yeah, I'm poppin'.
Wow, see what I'm saying? That was dope, man. It was clean. We had fun. When we was making, you know what? The making of that video, the behind the scenes that Andre Dude shot, that was a video. You know what I'm saying? We had fun. We had fun. It was like I had a friend, Travis Connie from Media House, the one that shot Cardi B and Glorilla's Tomorrow. He went to shoot another video in Chicago, and while he was shooting the video, they was actually shooting for real at them. While shooting the video, he had the squad. So you know what I'm saying? Because of the content, the negative content in the music, and that association that association is a. Like,
I ain't never had a problem. I never had a problem with my videos, man.
Never had a problem. Yeah, like 1 Corinthians 15:33 says, bad association spoils youth for habits. But anyway, I want to salute D.Y. Powell, Leah Ford, Rob Wright, Michael Bowie, Pelvia Daniels, Pit Colo, Andre Dude. That was a dope video. And
love.
We got so many more. He had so many more. I'll give y'all a chance to get to know him at the end. Moving right along. What y'all think? Y'all think that was a good example of a good, clean video, you know?
Yeah, nobody
Yes,
got hurt.
definitely.
Nobody got hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Okay, now with the coming of the parental advisory, all right, on the album, do y'all really think that it prevent the youth from listening?
no, not at all. Not at all.
Not at all.
If anything, they're gonna listen more than we, you know. But I do admit, we knew the radio version to him, and then I actually heard it one day. I was like, "Dang," you know. But no, that's not gonna. That's not. I think. I mean, look. Okay, our parents was raised different, right? Look how we are. We grew up in hip hop. look how the kids are. They're growing up totally different than the way you grew up or your grandparents grew up. They're around cussing and everything, man. They're around TikTok, man. You know what I'm saying? They're around TikTok. That's it. That's it. That's all it needs to be said. You know, I don't want to keep talking until we do say rest in peace to Takeoff. You know, all to me as an artist, it really bothers me when I see somebody that's not beefing with people or anything. You can see that anything can happen. You know, I never been the whole let me stay to the end.
I think that has a direct, I think it comes directly from content, association, and what you represent. It has a lot to do with that. Okay, now that was part A of that question. Part B of that question, I'm gonna give to Marie. Who do you feel is more responsible? And I saved this question especially for you since you're an A&R. Who do you feel is more responsible for the youth having easy access to this? The parents or the labels? The reason I asked that, because if the labels didn't make it available, the parents wouldn't have to make a decision on whether to let their children listen to it. All right, go ahead.
Okay, there be truth in what you said there. Okay, so for me personally, as a parent, as a responsible parent, you know, I feel, and as a strong led parent, I raised my kids the way I raised them. I taught them the way I taught them. I kept them from the things that within my ability. Now, us as parents can't control the record labels, the media outlets, or anything. So it goes way beyond the record label. Just because the record label distributes it out and they're a business, right? That's what they do for business. So therefore, it actually comes down and trickles down the line. I feel that it needs to be a total, fully unified, collaborated effect, because not a parent by itself, not a record label by themselves, not anything like that can control it. It has to be a unified collaboration to be able to only put certain things out in the direct, grasp. Now to ask me how that'll happen or how that can happen, I'm honestly not sure. Of the demographics of it, but I think it needs to start with a sit down, like, record labels, if they're going to put this out, media only agreeing, like how they have to have radio edits. Why can't there be media edits? Why, there is media edits, but why can't they restrict what is going to be in the videos and what is going to be promoted on certain outlets? Like you have a lot of media outlets that put certain, only allow certain content. And then you've got networks like Zeus that puts out no holds bar, anything and everything goes. So, I think it's a collaborative and collective effort, a unified effort to answer the question.
Yeah, okay. But as soon as you did do the media edits, wouldn't they consider that as censorship?
I mean, to a point, that's what I'm saying. That's why it has to be collective. Like you have to have people that are willing to negotiate this across the table for the better of society, the better of our communities, our children, our youth. It's not something that is going to be an easy decision or an easy choice. And I believe that we all have a right to speak and say our piece and what we think and what we believe and our opinions. So I don't feel that certain things should be censored, but maybe there should be an outlet for them. Like so many things don't work. You put parental controls on things, kids lie about their age and still be able to access and make accounts for things. So I'm not sure, but I know it has to start somewhere. And that's, why I believe in the missions for things such as stop the violence, stop the bullying, social injustices across the board, and get more people to be collective on an effort of it.
Okay. Now, see, my opinion of that is, this is it. Okay. I kind of lean toward the corporate CEOs of these major recording label artists and the radio stations. because you can be the best parent in the world and try to shelter your child from them things, but they have to go out into the world and they're going to hear it regardless. Okay. My next question is a surprise question, okay? And it is, if you were a CEO of the biggest record label in the history of mankind, do you have the heart? Because the world is so cruel, they like hatred. They say that's why R&B is dying, because nobody likes love anymore. You know what I'm saying? Not nobody, but a lot of people prefer the hatred and all the negative stuff. Okay. The heart that you have, do you think you would be willing to lose money and lose the money and save masses? Save a lot of these young kids are dying as a direct result or part of the result. But you have the heart to lose money. I'm gonna start with Spitz, all right? Because he looked like he marinated on that question. To lose them and so-called do the right thing and say, no, I'm not gonna promote that stuff.
All record labels, right?
Biggest record label in the world.
I could afford to lose the money. I'd do it. You know, I would definitely lose the money to try to do right, because really you can't take the money with you anyway, and you got to face God at the end. So at least you know, you know what I mean. Like I try to do it right, but no, I definitely. A lot of people wouldn't though. You know, a lot of people wouldn't though. You know, like you got to know the world. Once you learn people, once you know the world, you know. But me personally, I done made a lot of money, so I would.
How about you, Boss Mom?
Yeah, no question. I would lose if, being that I have a company and things, I would lose money to promote for the better of the civilization, the better of us as people in general. But a lot of things people don't know that I just want to bring to light is they utilize the music industry to build the prison systems. You know, that's what's happened over that when NWA lawsuit, all that, it all came in to where, okay, we'll let you do this, but we're going to capitalize off your ass. Off, I didn't mean to cut off y'all, because we're going to utilize y'all putting out this negative impact. We got a place for y'all. We're going to let your money make the money to build the prison systems, and took it from 55 prisons in the United States to 1,750 prisons in the United States. And they utilized it and based it off the culture of hip hop and rap. And this is what people were too naive to realize and see, that what they were doing was paving the way to put their own people in prison. And to receive the social injustices and to mark the culture as something bad. They allowed the people to do it to themselves, but then they capitalized off of it in a bigger way in the big corporate realm. You know, okay, let's make this business merger. They won this. We're gonna make this business merger. So let them put their own people in jail. Let them keep doing this. So it was a way. They converted it into a way to tear things down even more in the culture. And it wasn't supposed to be like that. But sadly, that's what happened. And now today, how are we going to change it? How are we going to keep our youth out of those prison systems? How are we going to, you know, divert the artists back to be awoken and realize, you know, the ones that haven't yet, realize that this is the impact. You're paving the way for your children, your grandchildren, and everything else systemically to continue on this path.
And you know what? You didn't make a mistake when you said ass, because they became an asset to the to the labels. Say for instance, I almost lost my chain of thought. What was I going to say? It's like the new volunteer slavery, and people don't even realize that you're volunteering to be a slave. Nobody is a good woman anymore. Everybody are bad bitches. Nobody is a real man. They're a real ignorant person, aka NIGGA. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't know that the Winna'S podcast, it comes from, I don't use the word NIGGA. I look at everybody as a winner. You know, you're my winner until you prove me different. You know what I'm saying? Winner for life. And that's how the name of this podcast became about. And everybody that know me know I don't use them words. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like what's good is bad and what's bad is good. Now, I almost got another question too. How many times is it really the beat that we like and not the lyrics? And just have a tendency of ignore. I surprised y'all with these questions, then. And ignoring the lyrics. Meanwhile, them lyrics is still being promoted, even though we don't even like the lyrics. We just like the beat. Can anybody else agree with that?
Most definitely. Being a, I am who I am today and I don't mind saying I'm 48, I am who I am today, but I went through the era of growing up, I hit, being a teenager in my 20s, just like anybody else. So you hit the music, you're rocking it out, you're going to the little, clubs and bars and stuff. And not all the times when you start, having a few drinks or whatever, you hear a catchy beat that when you want to be vibing to, and you don't necessarily hear the lyrics at first. You're hearing that beat and that's what got you dancing. And then somebody will bring to your attention, like it happened with me and my sister, and we were dancing to a song. I knew what the song was. She didn't. She was just dancing because I wasn't. She liked the beat. And it was that song, Red Nose. And later on, after drinking, and Sheila said, "Hey, put that song back on." Sissy, what was that again? And I played it, and she started listening. She said, "You had me dancing to that." But it was, back then, it just was what it was. We had a good time, but definitely can relate to that. The beats are always the thing that catches you first.
Well, as an artist, it's always the beat, right? Like, it's always the beat.
Police, fuck the police, NWA. That was mine. You know what I'm saying? Because we grew up in the neighborhood. Well, we grew up in the Bronx, and it wasn't all that nice. But yeah, we was cool and everything. The police was cool and all that stuff like that. So to hear that, fuck the police, but that beat was so strong and hard. You know what I'm saying? It was like, it had to ignore it. I ignored it. I had to. By the way, I had to sneak and hear it too, though. So I couldn't hear it at home. My parents wouldn't go for that. What about you, Spit?
Well, as an artist, it's always the beat. And honestly, the way I look at music, the beat to me is just colors. So reference that to energy. Every sound got energy. You can have dark energy, you can have light energy, but a beat is energy. If it's a dark beat, I see dark colors, and that's how I paint that picture. If it's a light beat, I see light colors, and that's how I paint that picture. That's all it is to me, and it's just energy. And I think the beats are way different now than kind of like in the beginning and in the middle and stuff like that. Question: do y'all see this getting any better? Like, do you see hip hop actually? Because we're answering questions like, "What if you?" But what about when? Because it's got to be a when, right? It's the future, right? Is it gonna? Go ahead.
Let me. That is the final question. But I wanted to get that. I wanted to get all of this out of the way because if we do the math and the science, matter of fact, look, we're gonna cover that right now. Okay, we're gonna cover it right now. Great minds think alike. Okay, I can say 85 that it's not gonna end. And the reason I say that is because of my strong spiritual beliefs. Okay. With my spiritual beliefs tell me that this world lies in the hands of who? The wicked one. And the only way that this will stop is if your almighty power, higher power, intervenes.
Okay, so judgment day, just straight up judgment day. You know what I'm saying? Like, bam, that's it. I do feel.
It don't even have to be judgment day. It could be during the resurrection. It could be in the paradise organization when God restores it to its original purpose.
But you know, so nobody is going to come out before that happens. You don't think somebody that will be very impactful, you know, will come out and try to help steer it back, or you just feel like it's inevitable, it's going to happen anyway?
I don't want to overspeak him.
Have you heard from Shopton? Have you heard from Jesse Jackson? Have you heard from Raphael Warnock? Have you heard from Minister Farrakhan? Huh? Nobody wants to be a martyr anymore. Nobody wants to die or willing to die over this. If you start messing with these dumb people's money, you will get hit on. You can get put a hit on. You trying to mess with these dumb people money. Talking about they can't do that. So the so-called leaders that people look up to so much, that's why nobody's stepping up to the plate saying anything about it.
I feel honestly, because I'm a big on spiritual too. And my spiritual connections actually are have let me know and paved a way that I'm on a good footnote, a good path. And I feel like if you collectively get with the people that are awoken to everything and that are like-minded, that the movement can be created. And the more people that join the movement, unity. We are the world. We are the people. We control more than anybody else does. And if we come together in unification across the entire globe, which is what I've been working internationally for and globally for years, if you bring that collectively together and you make movements, yes, it is dangerous. I'm not going to say that it's not dangerous. That somebody, like you said, you'd be crazy not to think. But at the same time, the same way back in the day, traditionally, if you take the morals of the original, so let's say, quote unquote, some of the gangs, it has been way taken out of line in today's realm than it was way back then, because it was about protecting your community, standing up in your communities, a community leader taking the charge of, keeping the minions in control type of thing. And, they didn't hurt each other. They didn't hurt the people inside their communities. And if you get those people in those communities that have that type of pull and are willing to come together against violence and things of that nature, then I believe that a movement can be created. And I believe that it can go further than some believe. I'm not going to say that it'll stamp out it all together or any of that. But I feel that if we can create a pathway for people to say, we don't we don't need people to go out there and kill each other senselessly. Now, if you're defending your brother, your sister, your uncle, your cousin, your mama, your grandma, and somebody's inflicting danger, pain, or violence upon them, then yes, you best believe you better defend yourself and your family at all costs. I'm not saying that that's not what our mission is about, but our mission is about, let's get our youth back, because there's no way that our 13, 14, 15-year-olds should be out here with guns and drugs, selling them, slinging it, and killing each other and killing other innocent people, because they have no real knowledge of what they're holding in their hands and what they're possessing. And it takes for us, the OGs, the ones that are older, to come out and say, okay, this is enough.
What I've noticed is that anytime you can talk to a youth and they become defiant, their only defense is you're just old fashioned. That's their only defense. That's it, nothing else. They can't get around your wisdom. They can't get around your experience and your strength and your hope. They can't get around that. The only thing they'll say is you're old fashioned. You know what I'm saying? I let them know. I mean, I'm bold. You know what I'm saying? With that being that if a frog had wings, he wouldn't what? Bust his ass every time he hopped, right? So if is a major big word, all right? That's the key. That's the key. Can't even get together at a venue at a certain age and nothing pop off. Very rarely. You know what I'm saying? Can't. Some pop off. So, and then the older people, they're so comfortable and they're like, forget that. They ain't got nothing to do with me. They ain't, let them kill themselves. That's them. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching my Netflix and I'm going out to dinner. You know, that's where we are. That's exactly where we are. And the so-called world leaders are just enjoying their so-called enjoying their lives and just letting it be and staying out of the scope of things. And that's what it is. It's just the truth.
So Fitz, what should we do? What do you think should be? Should we just let it ride, or should we try? Because I do love unifying and maybe try.
Definitely try. That's why. Okay, we got 11 minutes. One more minute. I'm gonna close out and then talk about some things, and then I'm gonna give y'all time to talk about your stuff. I want you to talk about Selfie World, Super Spits, your Spits flavors, photography, and all that stuff, and then you also, Maria, about your what you got going on, okay, and how people can get in contact with y'all. Okay, I want to say, y'all, this has been a very enjoyable topic for discussion. We covered a lot of ground. And like I said, I want to say salute once again to United Music Mafia, my producer and publicist, Sean Stock, Starman Films and Management Group. This has been the Winna'S Podcast. Right now, I'm going to turn it over to our guest, Mr. Super Spits, and he's going to tell you how to get in contact with him, what he got going on, what he's been doing, and what's upcoming. Let's get it.
What's popping? Thank y'all for watching that video. That was what, 6 years ago, man? That was like, so that's very good. It's a good reunion right now. I think God is definitely putting people together or bringing people back together for a reason. Because I do feel like I feel like an evolution is bound to change. They say never throw out your clothes because they make a comeback, right? So anything can happen in this world. As far as who I am, whatever. You want me to bring up Selfie World, so let's do Selfie World. The Selfie World is a place where you can go. We got one in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and we got one in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So definitely, y'all would love to bring your family there. $20. Just look it up, Selfie World. It's really awesome, though. I think you will love it. So he wanted me to talk about that. There we go. It's an awesome place. All right, now what I do, music artist, been in some movies. Shout out to everybody in the Raleigh area. Y'all know who I am, man. From Fitz to Michael Boyd to everybody out there. We're gonna definitely reunite and do some big things. You can find me on, just look me up on IG _Superspitz SUPERSPITZ. Check me out. Done interviews and worked with a lot of. I'm very blessed right now. A lot of celebrities definitely want to work with me in my inbox. So I've worked with Fat Joe, and there's a lot more is about to come. Though. That's all I can tell you. It's a whole lot. So I'm very blessed with that because when I was making Poppin' and all them videos back then, none of that was going on. But I still, I wake up with a vision, and I don't call myself a hustler. I'm a manifester. I see things and I can put it in my hand. That's what that video was, setting all that up with the help of Andre Dude. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just bringing people together of all races. That's what the photography modeling is that I do. I can shoot anybody, or clothing line. It's just a lot of stuff that I do. But music is something that I really want to bring back full time, just because right when you think you're done with the race or you can't go no more, God will give you a sign and let you know, like, you ain't that far. Keep going. Because I never gave you a time limit on when stuff is going to happen. And I feel like everything is falling in place. So that's pretty much what I do. Just look me up, YouTube, Superspitz, iTunes, everything, Superspitz, SUPERSPITZ. And you'll see what I've been doing. And we got a lot more to go. Just dropped the video, about to drop another one, and about to shoot another one before you know it. I always been that way. That's how Fitz met me. Videos, like let's do music, let's do videos, let's let's be creative. Like forget the club, let's make our own club. Like every week we doing something. You know what I'm saying? So you create your own life, and it's a very positive thing. Nothing ever happened in none of my stuff, thank God. But I don't bring that energy out. You know what I'm saying? Like it's again energy. Once you learn that, you understand what it is. So, and it's a blessing to be on a podcast with y'all lovely folks, and I can't wait to talk to y'all more. And Fitz, you my peoples. I think he got me a good big gold chain, for that video or something like that. So shout out to Fitz for that, and just reuniting and I got to see him not too long ago, and that was amazing. I think I still got that picture. So, but again, just check me out. A lot of big things are happening. I know it's supposed to be a little bit about me since you played a video, but I just want to, just be thankful and very humble to even be talking here. We lived another year. 2023 is coming up, baby. Before you know it, hopefully way less brothers dying of gun violence or any type of violence, and that's women, kids. Bullets don't have no names. If you didn't go to school for years target practicing, you're just shooting around, and people are affecting so many families that way. And I think I wish we could go back to just fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we could beat each other up, and then next year we might shake hands. Okay, like I wish it could go back to that, because I really kind of grew up around that, but not. It was the guns was coming in effect by that time, so I wasn't really playing that. When I was hanging around the wrong people, I was getting shot at, bullets. I heard the bullets go right past me. Like, whoo, that was close. You know what I'm saying? So from there on the early age, I knew that I love music, but I didn't want to be shot from doing music, if that makes sense. But I just want to make people dance and make people happy, and for 4 minutes or 3 minutes or 2 minutes, forget their problems that they have during that day. Because for 2 or 3 minutes, I got you, and we're in a whole other world. But again, thank you, Vincent. This is amazing.
I really appreciate you, and we're glad you was able to join us. Marie, you got 5 minutes. I do want you to talk about that stop the bullying thing too, a movement you got going on, and you got 5 minutes, because then I have to close out.
Yes. Hi. First of all, Fitz, I want to thank you very much for having me on as a guest. I enjoyed the podcast. Second, very awesome to meet you, Spitz. I'm looking forward to connecting even deeper with you, dear. As for me, as students have been saying, I'm Marie, aka Boss A Mom. Boss A Mom is mother. I don't know if you can see my shirt, but it's mother on a mission. Okay, I created this, and I am my brand for 8 years building. I am not just an A&R of United Music Mafia. I'm a director and A&R of United Music Mafia. I run the Pennsylvania division. I have a deputy director here with me. I have DJs here with me. I also work with Manchu Estates Productions, Entertainment and FM Radio out of New York. I also am the assistant chief PR for the International Stop the Bullying and Violence Now tour, movement, and mission. We are connecting global with major entities. We're working with 5013C nonprofits. We're creating 5013C nonprofits and branching out in other state and territories. We're gearing up for a big tour next year. We're looking for different people to get involved, doing sponsors, doing telethons, doing promotions, we have I pledge to be B&V free out. It's bullying and violence free. You take a little pledge, you do your little video drop, and you shoot it over to us, and we utilize it throughout the whole year on all of our promotions. To show the cooperation of people that are unifying in the movement and mission, that believe in it. And we do those, we collect those. It's as little as $1 donation or whatever your heart desires towards everything that we got going on. It's, again, great to be here and be able to talk about everything. There's a lot of things going on. I want to shout out and give special thanks to Sean Starks as well with Starman Films. Linked with him personally, and I was able to get him signed on with United Music Mafia as a director of Raleigh and Durham. So, big things going on. I do a lot behind the scenes, and I said I was nervous about coming on here only because I've been a back end kind of businesswoman for 8 years. I build my business relationships and friendships. I've worked hard with my mentors on all of this, studied countless times, put in a lot of free work, a lot of free volunteer intern work to get where I'm at. Never involved any kind of obscene things to get where I've gotten in my career thus far. It's just been true loyalty, respect, and common courtesy, and building real relationships and bonds behind the scenes. So, but now I guess it's time I come out in media. It's that time.
That's dope. From now on, at the end of Winna'S podcast, I'm gonna give you the event of the week, okay? And that's every week from now on. And the event of this week is very appropriate because it pertains to what we're talking about. We're gonna have Mike Mitchell, Mike Boss, and Kevin Fox from the Certified Show, TV show, is gonna have Wise McGriff and Boss Lady, and Doc Honeycutt is hosting, and they're having an artist showcase on the 19th and the 20th. And the winner of that showcase gets a feature by Boosie. So that's major. Yeah, that's gonna be the 19th fair. It's a showcase and a music conference. One day a showcase, one day a music conference.
I have more information on that if you wanted me to elaborate a little bit more. It's with Rich Nation and Boozy, and we have I'm personal friends with them. So Michael. So that is the 2-day thing. There's still about 5 to 7 slots left. Big major prizes, 19th showcase at Tucker, Georgia Bottleship Lounge. On the 19th, that's the showcase, $300 for the slot, 150 locks it in, 152 Michael at the door. Major prizes again, one of them is sitting down with Boozy, getting distribution. Another one is a marketing and promotion package. There's there's a lot going on with that. And then the next day, the 20th, is the music industry conference, where the artists that get the slots and get in will be able to sit down with real music executives and get the inside of the business that they're lacking.
Yeah, and why?
Excuse me?
I said, Wise McGriff is still with Def Jam. Am I not correct?
I believe so. He's got a bunch of industry executives on the back end of this. I think there's just somebody going to be represent Doc Honeycutt. Yeah, she's going to be there. I think an executive from 300 Entertainment, Boozy, Mr. Mitchell, and then there's a few others that he's pulling out, for this. I was supposed to be down there, but I didn't. I haven't yet been able to get my arrangements made or anything, so we'll see.
Well, that's the place. If you need more information, you can reach me on Facebook at Fitzhugh Sergio Fevers Huff. On Instagram, it's Fitzhugh_Sergio_Fevers_Huff. And on Twitter, I'm that Dancing Ass Dude. I'm in the process. My daughter up here, she says that I have to get TikTok. So I will be getting that soon. And with that being said, I want to thank you all for tuning in to the Winna'S podcast. And until next week, we're going to have a stone gas because it's going to be a blast. Peace.
Blank Beats Production.
Josh P, what it do?